Hello everyone, friends, family, neighbors, subscribers and viewers. Heidi-ho! Here we are, prepping for the big storm. It's supposed to be worse than it was in 2000. And I guess then they lost electricity for like a week back then. We're hearing anywhere from a week to 3 weeks we might not have electric. I don't comprehend it. I just can't. Coming from Indiana, we had lots of ice storms. And here they're saying we're going to get anywhere from a ½ inch of ice to 30 inches of snow, or anything in between. It's insane. It is Wednesday, and the storm doesn't start till Saturday. I believe it's Saturday afternoon. Stores are out of everything already. It's crazy. I have plenty of canned goods. I always do. I had been letting my preps go down because I'm like, I have so much, and we've been here 3 years and we haven't used them. So I let them go down. And as you know, I don't buy paper towels or anything like that anymore. So this is my prepping haul and a little bit of what I already had. Okay, I got some blueberries, some yogurt. I do have frozen blueberries, but Tim will go through these in no time at all if he's bored sitting here not doing anything. We got 2 loaves of bread. I got some Kaiser rolls. We're going to have hamburgers for dinner tonight since it's so late. So, got these, plus we'll be able to eat those. This little thing I can use for my backpacking stove. Plus, I have at least one of these already for my backpacking stove. I might have one this size and one smaller than this. I still had, because I had been letting my water supply get down, I still had 2 gallons of water. Gallon jugs, all what they had was distilled. Tim doesn't like to drink distilled water. Garrett has to stock water tomorrow at work, so he's going to bring home 6 gallons of drinking water. And I have 2 cases of the individual drinking waters, just the Great Value ones. That's all they had left. And they were price gouging on those. 2 40-packs I have in the trunk of my car. I can't bring everything in. I don't know where I'm going to put all this water. So all the water is still in my car. And I got licorice stuck in my tooth. I got 2 gallons of milk. The boys will eat cereal and granola, and that's why I got the yogurt, was to go with the granola. Garrett really likes his granola with yogurt. And those date is clear through March, so. And the milk, surprisingly, is February 8th. And today is what, the 20th? So that should last. I got 6 pounds of cheese. We can slice it for sandwiches, or we can put it on, have cheese and crackers and lunch meat if we don't want to cook, because we're going to have to watch how much we cook. I have 10 of these propanes to go with my propane stove, my camp stove. Garrett said they get a hardware delivery tomorrow. If he does get a hardware delivery tomorrow, and they have this style of propane tank, I'm going to have him pick up 4 more. Because that'll be 14. 1 a day. That's 2 weeks. But it shouldn't be 1 a day. I have a bag of apples. I've got 3 jars of peanut butter, I think, in the cabinet. So peanut butter and apples, good time consuming snack, because you cut the apple, you spread the peanut butter on it, so it'll take longer to eat those than, say, a bag of chips. And you'll be doing something. You won't, because you're going to be bored out of your mind. So that's why I got apples. I do still have a whole bag of Halos in the fridge and a few navel oranges left. Walmart was sold out of navel oranges. And after I went to Walmart, I went to Lowe's, and then I went to Dollar General. I wasn't going to Aldi or Food Lion. Figured if Walmart's out, they're out. Okay, I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, approximately 8 pounds of lunch meat. We can have sandwiches. We can have it on crackers, or I have some roll up things for like roll ups, you know. I've got plenty of onions out there. I'm gonna have to dig some tonight, and then I'm gonna put cardboard over the rest of them, because the onions will be fine as long as they're not laying in the snow or ice. You know, I'm dead set against paper towels, but this is when you need paper towels. Times like this, when you don't know what's going on, you know what I mean? So I did get some paper towels. We live in the country. We are on well water. We lose electric. We lose the well. We lose electric. We lose the pump that pumps our septic up to the septic field. Our tank will hold enough for us, I believe. Please. Tim can always hook the generator up to either of those things for temporary, but the generator is mainly going to be for heat. And we can run the coffee pot and the heater at the same time. I really want to find my percolator in case we get low on fuel for the generator, and then I could do coffee on the percolator and on my camp stove, my backpacking stove, or on the camp stove. But while I went through all that with water, I got some baby wipes. These won't go to waste. If we don't need these to wash our hands and faces and whatnot, then I'll just give them to my daughter, who has a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 10-month-old. Or is she 11 months now? I think she's 10 months. Oh, goodness. I'm not going to do the math. So anyways, these won't go to waste if we don't need them to just freshen up and wash our hands. That's the main thing. I don't like hand sanitizer, and I figured this was more versatile than just buying hand sanitizer. So I got those. Cereal. I have some kibasi. I have rice. I have canned chicken, canned roast beef. So I can do some noodles with the canned roast beef, rice, and chicken, whatever. And they can go in these. I do have a small thing of paper plates that I keep for picnics or whatever. They're hidden. The boys don't know I have them. But if we're gone for 2 weeks, washing dishes in a pan is going to get old. And we're going to want to conserve water. Which, plasticware. So I'll use this. As soon as we lose water, we'll start with this. When it runs out, then we can worry about washing silverware if we need to. 204 count, 68 spoons, 68 knives, 68 forks. So that would last us, goodness gracious, surely that would last us a week. But I dug out our water jugs. We'll fill these up as backup for washing dishes. We're going to fill both tubs up for flushing the toilet. We have lots of buckets, mainly cat litter buckets. We're going to fill those up for flushing the toilets. So we have the generator. Oh, another thing. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, hang on. I'm getting it. I have my oil lamps on all winter. The oil lamps make you feel warm and cozy. And I have about 7 or 8 oil lamps. And if I have them all going, that would be the equivalent of having a kerosene heater going. So my furnace doesn't have to work as hard. So I had this jug already. It is filled up to about here. Walmart had none. I got the last one at Lowe's. That is 2.5 gallons. these we will be running probably pretty close to 24/7. Tim will say not at night, and I'm going to be like, yeah, at night. So we'll have easily 3 gallons of this, 4 gallons, I don't know. But, and I have I have 2 mason jars, one small one and one big one of traditional oil lamp that is dyed for my clear oil lamps. I don't want to use that if I don't have to because of the dyes, but I will. I also got this as a backup if it goes 3 weeks. And so that I could tell y'all, in these kind of situations, you have to think. Tiki torch fluid. What's tiki torch? A container with a wick in it, just like my oil lamps. If we have to, we'll use this, and we won't have no mosquitoes. So, if you have tiki torches, but you don't have oil lamps, now generally you can take a little can out of the holder and set it down, and you can use this for light in the evenings, and it would produce a little bit of heat, not much, but every little bit counts, right? We are going to camp out in our bedroom because we have connecting bathroom. That way, when every time we go to the bathroom, we don't have to, you know, let a whole bunch of heat out of the room. I'll have blankets on both sides of the door to the bathroom, so kind of help keep that heat in the bedroom. And I do have several tents, but I think we're going to use my backpacking tent. Tim, me, and Lily can definitely fit in it because Tim and I, yes, Tim and I, not Tim and me. Tim and I camped in it with Tanji. That was like one of my first videos I ever did on this channel when I thought it was going to be a backpacking channel. So, but we have another tent. We actually have 2 more, but if Garrett wants one for in his room, he can. His room is pretty small, and you know, if he layers up his clothes and all, he should be fine. And the nights, it's gonna be in the 10s, you know, like 10, 12, 14 degrees daytime. I think the highest it's going to get is 35. Right now, this could all change. This whole thing could be for nothing because these people usually overkill. I know people that call off work over rain. Never heard of such a thing. But that's my preps. Like I said, I've been letting them run lower. I wouldn't have even had to go. Except for maybe bread, because I'm not going to make a bunch of bread. But, yeah. There we go. That's it. We're going to have a grand time. It's going to be so much fun if we get trapped for a week. Yay! Make sure you have something sweet. That's another reason for the apples. And I have lots of canned oranges for something sweet to lift our spirits. And that they're in light syrup, so the sugar will help us produce heat. And all kinds of canned goods, you know. So we're going to be set. We're going to be safe and sound and warm and cozy. And that's it. I know I talked really super fast because I want to get this stuff in the fridge. All right, friends, family, loved ones, subscribers, or viewers, thanks for stopping in. I will give you updates on the weather. Good night.